You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
Welcome back to the World's Team Podcast, powered by FanDuel, part of the Believe Network. Proudly sponsored by Cowboys Experience. This week, it's Cowboys versus the Jets. And boy, do we have a lot to break down. Dallas comes in with basically the most injury stat report I've seen in a long time. With CeeDee Lamb, Malik Hooker, KaVontae Turpin all out. Well, guys like Marshawn Nealon, Mingo Sanders, and Tyler Smith all questionable. The Juniors, Trevon Diggs, and DeLone Bland are both fit and ready to go in the secondary. On the Jets side, Michael Carter, the second, is out. Jermaine Johnson is questionable, and Braylon Allen has now been placed on injury reserve, which is a big blow to their backfield. Overall, though, the Jets are still healthier than the Dallas Cowboys heading into this matchup. According to ESPN, the Cowboys are 57.5 favorites to win, and FanDuel Sportsbook has the spread sitting at 1.5 plus for the Dallas Cowboys, with the money line set at minus 130 and the over and under at 44.5. So today we're going to talk about how this offense looks without CeeDee Lamb and what this defense needs to do to take advantage of this weakened Jets run game, and of course give you our bold predictions, first touchdown picks, and score lines. But other than that, I'm joined as always by my co-host in arms, Mr. Mike Poland. How are we doing, brother?
Yeah, good. It's blowing a gale outside. I'm not sure if it's picking it up, but we're in the middle of a hurricane over here, so it's a bit mental.
Storm Amy. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all going on. I know you're getting a battering up there. I know that much.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So just out of context, my mum and dad, they're on a wee vacation up the north of Scotland right now, and traveling by coach, and said the traveling was wild. So yeah, I think that's an understatement. So yeah, but at least my mum and dad are safe. They're enjoying their time away. That's what matters. But yeah, man. But other than that, it's talking about weather and the storm, and not like we're running through a storm of injuries right now, right, Mike?
Yeah. Losing Turpin is a big one, especially after you just lost Lamb, because Turpin, he's a great playmaker. So now you're going down the depth chart suddenly, and you're wondering who they're going to call up from the practice squad. Same with the offensive line, because if Tyler Smith is out, then you have to wonder what the offensive line shuffle's going to be. I mean, definitely you got Wesley French on the practice squad, who's a inside offensive lineman. You will probably expect to see that name getting called up this week. The good news, though, because, I mean, we may as well try and stay positive here.
Yeah, you always try to think of the positives, Mike. Always.
Yeah, the good thing is that Mingo and Kalen Carson are on their way back. They're returning from injury. Timing is brilliant because it's definitely needed. So it would be good to see them. Because Mingo, if you remember, me and you were singing his praises in Oxnard.
Massively.
Yeah.
Like, to me, he was one of the big standouts along with Ryan Fournette, which we'll talk about later also. Yeah. But Mingo in particular was showing why we did trade for him. Like, there was the whole doubt between him, like, why did we draft a 4th-round draft pick for a wide receiver? Like, just to put it into context again, I feel like we're kind of repeating ourselves. Like, because we drafted him halfway through the season, he didn't really work directly with Dak Prescott because Dak was injured. He was basically running with Cooper Rush for the majority of the time. So we didn't really get to really see Jonathan Mingo with a quarterback like Dak Prescott. But we did get to see that during training camp, and I did say to everyone, it's like, honestly, I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on Jonathan Mingo, and rightly so. And Mingo was one of the best performers outside of Lamb and Pickens, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, he was always getting involved. Like, I think there's the stigma with Mingo is the fact that they traded for him using a 4th-round draft pick after the last time they did that really didn't pay off with a very lackluster quarterback that couldn't throw the ball. So there was this whole, oh, the Cowboys have done it again. And Mingo hasn't been, but I agree. What we've seen, the chemistry is definitely there. He's great. I mean, look, Sam Williams was, he played with him and said, no, this guy is a baller back at
Yeah.
home. And I had him, I think he was like a second round wide receiver on my board, like an early one as well. Like he was like ranked in the fourth.
Back at the time during the draft process. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they've okay, they've done what they needed to do. They've got him. Timing is great. In terms of Carson, I mean, like, you can say he was inconsistent when he got his chances, but he's here now, and there are moments when he is very solid. He is good, but this defensive back unit needs all the help it can get. Bodies wherever it's needed, especially when you see Diggs and Bland have missed time this season because of various injuries. They're healthy now, which is great. So having Carson,
I know. Wait, hold on a minute though, mate. It's
I
like,
know,
are we actually get to see Diggs and Bland on
Bland,
the field at the same
mm,
time? Who would have
healthy.
thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah,
My God, we're
yay!
finally get to see it after so long.
The curse has
My
been lifted.
Oh, well, hopefully, well, when you say that, hopefully that might be the case, and it might turn our fortunes well in the more positive way and within our secondary. But hit me with it, mate, with the full injury report.
On the Jet side or the Cowboys?
Just hit me with the whole thing, man.
All right, then. So obviously we know about Booker. We know about Lamb. We just talked about Turpin. Guyton is out because of concussion protocol. Stephen Jones said at the start of the week he felt that he would pass protocol. Obviously, he didn't. The trouble with the protocol is there's a number of stages you have to go through. It's the same here that they go through on the HIA with the rugby side of it all. It's not just you get checked and that's it, you're done. You have a series of tests you have to pass, and if you just fail one of them, then you're done. That's it. You can't play. Hooker is a big one. He left the game early last week. That was a blow to the secondary. The other ones is obviously Kent Murray, linebacker. He's questionable. He was limited in practice. That's the same as Nealand as well. And Sanders, we kind of had a feeling he may not play this week, which it is sad to see a player injured, but it does mean we get to see Jaden Blue if that's the case. And this is a Jaden Blue type game.
Yeah. If one way to kind of like make your debut is go against a team like the Jets, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Jets defense are like really actually probably better, not, I wouldn't say one of the best defenses, but they've always been consistently been okay, like middle of the field type of defense, like especially the run defense have always kind of been a bit more like decent. Like obviously they have addressed by getting Sauce Gardner in to help with their secondary in terms of the passing game and stuff like that, but they're still the same team. They've always kind of fell under the like spotlight pretty much.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Jets, though, there is one player that's out, and that's Michael Carter the second. I can see Jermaine Johnson and
Now that's the big one. That is the big
Yeah.
one because the Jets defense very, very rarely blitz. They hardly ever blitz at all. So in order for them to put pressure on, they just rush. Jesus, did you hear that? Something fell over. So they they provide pressure by moving very smartly in unison with their front four. Jermaine Johnson is part of that, who's coming around on the edge. If they lose him, then the whole rush plan falls apart.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's dangerous.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, Johnson is very formidable when he's actually active and fit and good to go. So
Yeah.
it is a big blow to the Jets. But also on the Jets side of things, and I'm going to butcher me saying this name, Ni Nwangwu, or I think that's how you pronounce his name. He is questionable. But Jarvis Browntree Jr., he's fit. Offensive lineman John Simpson, he's fit. Tight end Mason Taylor, he's fit. But the biggest one of all, obviously, is monstrous to the Jets and their offense as Braylon Allen is now being placed on injury reserve.
Yeah, that's nasty as well. It's a nasty injury, but yeah, a huge blow to them because I mean, me and you, we've spoke about Braylon Allen during the draft process.
Oh,
He's
massively. We were love to have had him drafted to
yes,
the Cowboys.
yeah, he was perfect to fit this system, and for a run first offense as well that the Jets are, that Allen just fitted the mold of what they were trying to do. So losing him for the year is a massive blow.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, as I kind of mentioned earlier about the betting odds, so the Cowboys are currently plus 1.5 on the spread. Also, in terms of the money line, they are minus 130 favorites. And in terms of the overall game, the over and under is set at 44.5. So, my question is, does the 1.5 disrespect the Cowboys, or is that fair given due to the injuries?
I think you could go either way, which is a really, really crap answer. But yeah, the Cowboys have plenty of injuries, offensive line, wide receiver being the issue. Um, and the other side of it, I think, is looking at the Cowboys defense that ranks last at the moment. You've got Garrett Wilson, who's he's gonna feast on this secondary that's playing this deep zone cover shell. So you look at it that way, but then on the other side you go, but the Jets are 0-4.
Mhm.
Like between the 20s, it
Fairness,
stalls
uh,
badly.
in fairness, though, there was a couple of games they could have won. In fairness,
Yeah, yeah.
like I mean, they did put up a good fight against, especially the Bucks, and I can't remember the other game they played. It was actually really close to the wire, but they did show some good fight in their team. I did feel so. I wouldn't count them out, but yeah, I think in terms of how the spread works, and again, this all the betting odds are being provided by FanDuel Sportsbook, so be sure to go check them out. Um, but yeah, I think with certain injuries, especially with the offensive line, that might play a factor onto maybe if you were kind of doing that in terms of your betting. But in terms of the over and under, which is set to 44.5, do we expect more of a defensive battle, or could surprise basically the offense without CeeDee Lamb? Obviously, we saw George Pickens really come out of his shell last
Mm.
week against the Green Bay Packers. Do you think this might be the case where it's going to be more on Dak again? Or is the defense, regardless of all the injuries and question marks, they may actually rise up to the occasion in this game?
Yeah, but I mean, like what you've got to look at is what the offense proved to us last week is that they're always going to put up a fight. Is that regardless of what happens during the game, injuries before the game, this offense is going to come out and scrap, and this is going to be a scrappy game because we just mentioned the Jets are 0-4. They're still hunting for that first win. They're at home on their home turf, and so they are going to come out swinging for the fences to try anything and everything to get into this game. In terms of what the Cowboys can do on offense, especially if you're going to get Jaden Blue involved in this game, you can really mix things up and spread it around. And I think the best way with an offensive line that is going to have three rotational pieces in it now, is you can play to the strengths of what you've got. And if you've got Jaden Blue, you've got guys like Talbot and Ferguson, quick passing game, eliminates the pass rush.
I think you're forgetting one guy as well. My guy, Ryan Fournoy.
And Ryan Flournoy, yeah, I mean, like you've seen him doing I think he's going to be the Turpin role. Flournoy's going to step into that Turpin role as
he's your speed demon in this game, I think.
yeah, and gadget player as well. So jet,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do some jet sweeps, some quick dump offs over the top, over the middle,
Mm-hmm.
Flournoy could be that guy. By
Absolutely.
doing that, you help your offensive line because you're getting the ball out fast, you get it out quicker, and you eliminate the Jets' pass rush. And then from there, everything else then will open up because once you get into the heads of that front four, that they're playing the quick passing game here, it takes a step. You're only looking for one step, and it just takes one step away from the pass rush, which will give Dak more time then to throw the deep ball down to Pickens.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're gonna be kind of run heavy at a certain extent, and all quick passes. Then
Yeah.
when the element of surprise, then you throw the deep ball.
That's
the
it.
way. That's the way I'm kind of perceiving this as well, because we know because like Pickens will be that deep threat. And even if Mingo's playing, that adds more to the equation.
I don't think we'll see Mingo.
I don't think we will. I would love to see him, but I'd rather have him come back when he's 100%, and not questionable at all. So
learn from Michael Gallup.
Oh yeah. I think that is a good history lesson for Cowboys Nation. It's like, just do not rush your wide receivers sooner, rather than as soon.
Don't bring them in sooner than they need to.
Yeah, because it can actually do more damage than good. So. But yes, in terms of this game, right? So, obviously we have dealt with. Who's the bloody quarterback again for the Jets? He was playing for the Steelers. We already played against them last year.
Oh, sorry, that was my phone. Pickett? No,
it's not Pickett. It's God, his name just escapes me. It was the first pick for the Bears a couple of years ago. Oh my God, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, that's who it was. There we go. I knew it started with a J.
Do you know the irony is I've been writing about him all week on Blocking the Boys.
I can just picture his face, and I just couldn't. I don't know why I just did a John Cena there, but
I've been writing about Justin Fields all week.
So we've got good experience playing up against Justin Fields last year when going into Heinz Field, or whatever they call their stadium now, against the Steelers, where we did win that game, and Justin Fields did have I would say he had a fairly decent game against us that last year. So, and with him. Now with the Jets, he's got likes of Wilson at his repertoire, etc. And especially how our secondary is right now. Like, I know Diggs and Bland are going to be playing, but especially with the fact that our pass rush that is the biggest question mark.
Yeah,
it still leaves our zone coverage that big, massive question mark overall. So
yeah,
I mean,
historically, the Cowboys defense, we have for years not been able to defend scrambling quarterbacks that can get out and run for first downs. Justin Fields will do that.
Yeah.
So it's all about gap integrity this game. That is the big thing on defense.
Yeah, it seems to be one of our biggest kryptonites is quarterbacks that have the ability to run the ball as well. Like, I mean, Lamar Jackson last year completely tore us apart. Like, even if you go years prior, Daniel Jones, who's not really primarily a quarterback that runs with, but when he did escape the pocket, he did cause damage, and it's because we literally have no spy. But they're like, this season so far, Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields, Jordan Love, I would say, is probably the least mobile quarterback out of everyone we've played so far. Caleb Williams, mobile quarterback, and trying to remember the other one.
It doesn't matter. But I mean, they struggle with mobile quarterbacks, and they have them for years.
Oh, Russell Wilson and Jackson Dart, and we ended up making Russell Wilson look as though he was an MVP. Then he gets benched the week after.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Giants are doing, but Well, I am kind of jealous of them in some aspect. They've got Cam Scatterbo, though. I'm jealous of that.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's an absolute baller.
But they've just lost Malik Neighbors for the year.
Yeah, we did talk about that last week, post game. Yeah,
Nasty.
like that is horrifying. Like, yeah.
When you watch him go down and that leg flop about, you're just like, ugh.
No, it's just not good. I mean, like, despite like I said, like, even though they're a rival team, but I don't want to see players losing injuries and years of their career due to that. Like, because end of the day, it's their career. Like,
the Giants have said this week with Neighbors, they don't think he'll be available for the whole of next season either.
Oh, wow. Oh God.
Yeah, it's like an 18-month recovery on that injury. So you think we're into the first quarter, so add another 6 months on from now, so a year, and then another 6 months on top. So you're looking at 2027.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad the Giants are going to struggle in terms of trying to win games, but I'm gutted for Malik Neighbors. I truly am. So all we can wish him from the opposing side of teams here, especially here at the World's team, is wish Malik Neighbors the speedy recovery. But yeah, in terms of going back to
back to this game,
back to the we got a little bit sidetracked there, but but obviously we talked about Justin Fields and Wilson there. Like, for the Cowboys, I think one of the biggest X factors going into this game is Mr. Jake Ferguson.
Yes, yeah. I mean, people talked all off season about Lamb and Pickens, and they were like, "Are they wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2? Like, who's who?" And I was just sitting there the whole time, like, well, your second receiver is always going to be Jake Ferguson, not just because he's good, but because Dak leans very heavily on his tight ends. We've seen it with Dalton Schultz. That he targets his tight ends quite a lot. You're seeing that with Ferguson. He leads the NFL in receptions right now for the tight end position. He's actually, amongst all receivers in the NFL, Jake Ferguson ranks second in receptions. So that is a testament to Dak going to his guy. Now, the fact that you've got Lamb out, well, Pickens is your number 1 wide receiver now. He's your outside guy. Jake Ferguson is most definitely now your second receiver, and we're seeing that as well quite a bit. That Dak will go quick to Jake Ferguson. The only thing I want to see from Jake Ferguson at the moment is the yak yards.
Yeah,
that he doesn't seem to be racking them up much for the opportunities that he's getting, and that is usually something Jake Ferguson's quite good at.
I wouldn't say that's really down to Ferguson's fault, though. I think it's because of the first and second read. He is pretty much
being swarmed.
He's been swarmed. So I don't think that's really down to Ferguson's fault. But on the plus side, the positive side, mate, that we did get to see Ferguson get back on the score sheet last week.
There we go.
So we can hopefully we can continue that momentum for Ferguson to keep elevating his game and get him to back where he was before, prior to the injury from last year. So I'm all rooting for that. Also, to kind of really talk about the guy I'm a big fan of. Like, you rated him really highly because of the rack store based in his draft. Like, obviously he's just came from a small school, but Ryan Fournoi, to me, has been a big, massive standout in terms of training camp.
Yeah,
I think he deserves to be on this roster. Like, I was surprised that he didn't make the initial cut. Obviously, he's been brought back in, and he made a small impact when he was featured. Like, I know it's against the Bears and garbage time and whatever that, but he did kind of like contribute a little bit. I want to see more of that. But give me your thoughts on Ryan Fournoi and what you see he could do in this game potentially.
Yeah, as I say, he's going to be a Turpin guy. Very different body type, mind. But using him in the backfield, slants and posts as well, quick slants, because obviously we're trying to go quick game. But Flournoy is one of those danger guys that get him the ball and just get him running. and he will torch you. So that he's always got that stashed away. We haven't seen it much because he hasn't had the opportunity, but we know that it's there, and we've seen it in training camp that he gets down that sideline, down the tram line, and he burns.
Yeah.
So
And the one thing I do like about, like, and this is just a small observation, there's certain players when they get their catch and they celebrate, like getting their first down and stuff like that, like you can see there is a bit of like I want to prove everyone wrong mentality about him. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of gusto coming like from his actions when he makes
yeah.
those plays. So, like that to me, like he's got a point to prove, and I want to see more of that. Like to me, like it just makes me want to see more of Ryan
Well,
Fournette. I know
well,
people have that does because yeah, he's a fifth rounder. Like it's like
Mhm.
oh, he's only in there because of injuries. It's like, but if people would actually watch the film and how he's been performing in camp, etc., it's like
Yeah.
would question why was he cut? Why was he not featured in the initial 53-man roster? It's that one still boggles me at times.
I think that one was just, um, or like it's the gymnastics that time of year where they shuffle things around. But
Yeah.
here's a question for you though:
Okay.
is that missing pieces now at wide receiver? We just spoke about Flournoy, Ferguson, obviously making a role. We'll probably see plenty of Brevin Spamford as well.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Mm, but my question is: should the Cowboys for this game call up Trayshawn Holden from the practice squad?
Oh,
Because
I
he was
see.
on fire during preseason.
Mm, don't see any harm doing it. I
I mean,
mean,
you don't necessarily have to play him, but at least he's in, he's in uniform, ready to go on, sprinkle him in at some point because
c-
he's
cor-
got something to offer there.
correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Holden back in college? He did special teams as well.
Yes, correct.
There we go.
Mm,
Yeah. In terms of the defensive side of the ball, though, Mike, like obviously questionable is Kenneth Murray.
mhm.
That's questionable. Like, and I'm going to say questionable on Jack Sonborn. He's not questionable because of injury, but he's just questionable in general. Like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, but it's true.
yeah.
Like there was a point last week in that Packers game I wanted Sanborn out of the game because yeah, didn't have the pace, he didn't have the acceleration. Like in terms of like getting like when he's in place and makes the tackle, he's a good solid tackler when he's there. Yeah, but in terms of tracking, he cannot keep up at all.
Mhm.
That's what concerns me, especially in the middle of that linebacker. And supposedly, like we were supposed to like with Eberflus being a former Cowboys linebacker coach, developing like Sean Lee, etc.,
Mhm.
etc.
Mhm.
You would like to think now as a defensive coordinator, he would actually have these guys prepped up and ready. And Sanborn just feels like he's two or three steps behind everyone else.
It seems ironic, now, as you mentioned, with Eberflus as our defensive coordinator, that one of the major, I would say this is more of a problem than our secondary, which sounds crazy to say, but
It's,
our linebackers,
I
ironically, are the
agree. I
worst
think
part
you're
of the
right.
roster.
I think you're right because I think the linebackers is actually causing more damage to our secondary more than
Yes.
anything.
Yeah. Because
Like,
you're trying to have Sanborn cover the middle of the field and trying to jam the seam, and you're like, yeah, no.
I'll have Sanborn in for run plays, yeah, but in terms of pass, no, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. But it's so hard to. But you can't even really just say, "Oh yeah, we'll have him for," because we're not the ones dictating the plays for their offense. So
Mm.
it's like, do you play him or not? That's the question. Like, me personally, like, and because we're pretty much thin in terms of linebackers anyway.
There you go. That's the
Over,
problem.
that's the problem we have. Overshawn's still not ready yet.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Shamar James, like, will he be there as the replacement? We don't know. It's like just a lot of question marks when it comes to our linebacker core right now, Mike.
Yeah. And then if you lose Kenneth Murray, then you definitely have to have more Jack Sanborn because, just like you say, because of numbers, he's going to be your primary linebacker for this next week's game because you don't
And
have a choice.
And like as always, Mike, and you know me, I'm always up for having some humble pie. I hope, like, because I was excited for Jack Sanborn to be part of this team
Yeah.
initially. Like, because I actually thought he did really well when he was in Chicago. I really did.
Yeah. Very
Uh,
Van Der Esch-y.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Like nothing. Just but it's based on his tackle, not his like.
Yeah.
Difference between Sanborn and Van Der Esch is obviously speed.
Yes.
Speed, like the speed difference is ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
Van Der Esch would go from sideline to sideline like that. Like
Yeah.
that's what I loved about Van Der Esch. And the only problem with Van Der Esch was like the way he tackled would cause him more damage than good.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, and that's why he had the neck.
The neck issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And Sanborn, he's got a massive wingspan. If he gets hold of you, it's over. That's game over because he'll just wrap you up. But it's getting him there. And what you were seeing last week is some of it was a little, to go back in time again to another linebacker, is Jalen Smith-esque, where he's in the wrong position. He's guessing. He's not reading his landmarks. He's guessing where he's supposed to be. Then he doesn't have the speed to recover.
No, I agree. But yeah, I guess like what is the key? Like I guess the final point really before we do our bold predictions and score predictions. What is the keys to victory for both offense and our defense in this game?
Defense, and if you're going to pay to any part of the defense where you want to pay attention to, it is the A and B gaps. So this game is going to be won by the defensive tackles.
Kenny
It's all
Clark and
about
Osa.
controlling that. Yeah, control that. Slow down Breece Hall. If you can control the inside gap, then your outside edges can play contain, and that stops the likes of Justin Fields from scrambling and getting first downs with his feet. You do that, the secondary has an easier day. But it's all about the inside defensive lineman in this game. That is the key to defense. On offense, it's going to be how you manage the quick game. You have to manage that quick game. Get that pass out quick. Get guys open. And early in the game as well is get Dak some easy plays. Get the offense settled in. Just get some quick dump-offs, quick game. Let's get going. Get Javonte Williams bashing up the middle because that's going to open up the play action.
I'm surprised we've now reached just over 30 minutes. We've not even mentioned Javonte Williams yet.
I know. Yeah.
He's instrumental going into this game. We
Yes,
talked
big
about
time.
we talked about this on our post game show against the Packers, where we were surprised that we are getting this version of Javonte Williams, pretty much like coming from his rookie season. And he's been the best surprise that we've had. Like everyone keeps talking about George Pickens, but to you and me, Mike, we feel Javonte Williams has been the nicest surprise that we've had because we generally thought,
and the most instrumental.
Absolutely, because we generally thought that he would have been like your one and out running back, so 1 year contract, whatever. Like even though he said the 2 year contract, but you know what I mean. Like he's he's there as a stock filler. That is not the case. Williams is being instrumental for this offense. So,
and he's still young.
He's exactly so. He's got a point to prove. It's like, hey, my injury's over. I'm here. I'm gonna ball it, and he's been doing that every single game. Yeah, we may have lost a couple of games. Yeah, we may have drew against the Packers. But if you're talking about anyone that's been consistent, it's Williams and Dak, really.
Yeah. Dak definitely has. I mean, Dak is on fire at the moment. He's just having. You can say all you want. I've seen the comments and being trolled. You're just like, you can't. If by now you don't like Dak and you're trying to find more reasons with what he's doing this season to say that he's not a good quarterback, I can't help you.
Yeah. Well, take this for example. Remember a couple of seasons ago where Joe Burrow was MVP favorite. The reason why he didn't really win MVP because of his own defense and winning record. It's pretty much the same situation we're kind of going in right now. Like we've pretty much got the best version of Dak playing right now, ready to go, but our defense is altering that projection because we're 1-2-1. Sounds so weird right now that
I know,
that's our record. 1-1. Yeah. Like Dak could be playing lights out every single game.
Which he is. which he
which
is.
he is. But if our defense isn't helping the situation by preventing points being scored against us, it's not going to help. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love Dak to win MVP, but it's the least thing I want to any of our players to win. I want us to win the Super Bowl. That's the main thing we want.
Yeah.
But in order to get that, we need our defense to also pull up their weight and actually prevent points being scored against us at the end of the day. We can't just rely on Dak Prescott every single game. And like you mentioned, like, 40 plus points in order for win a game, but even still, it may have to take more than that because we just drew with the Packers 40.
40
like,
wasn't enough.
40 wasn't enough. Like, I mean, we can reshare the short clip of that, what we did, what we said, and it just blows my mind how we now kind of came to that conclusion now, you know?
Yeah, here's crazy then. I went and checked that Dak at the moment is mastering an offense that is scoring on 49% of their drives. That is the third highest in the NFL right now. You don't do that by mistake. You don't score that many times.
And not just that, the biggest transformation, and you know Dak is on fire right now, is our red zone offense.
Yeah, it's been
Our
good.
red zone has been terrible for years under Mike McCarthy. No disrespect to Mike McCarthy, but it has been terrible. But from week one, when we played against the Eagles, 2 scoring drives, even though it was rushing the ball, we scored and it was scored within the it was in the red zone. Then you saw last week against the Packers, Jake Ferguson, red zone, etc., etc. You're like, oh, this is great. We can actually put the ball in the end zone when we're in the red zone now. It's great. Like, one of our biggest pet peeves is now seems to be like, okay, I feel a lot more comfortable now. But now that's kind of going. We're seeing that being more fluid, getting the quick passes out. Like, we saw the fact, like, I know what you're going to say about the whole game last week with Micah Parsons. Like, Dak read that game perfectly. He knew what Parsons was like. He did the quick release. He made Parsons ineffective. Yeah, like Parsons, 10 pressures, whoopie-doo-dah. But did he actually get to Dak besides that one particular play, which was not a sack? It was not a sack. But I will state that. But when you look at the overall game, Parsons wasn't really that effective and that disruptive, really, because Dak was still getting the ball out, still delivering it to Ferguson, still delivering it out to Pickens, etc. So, like, Dak's playing brilliantly.
Yeah.
Like, it's whenever we are in desperation mode, that's when things kind of go sour for a little bit of that. But the good thing is we haven't really kind of had to result to that as much.
Yeah,
like,
but it's not just
having to force the ball and like double coverage and stuff like that. We've not done that as much.
It's not just though with his passing; it's just his general quarterbacking. He's communicating. He's taken the offense onto his shoulders. He's leading those guys and he's managing the personnel correctly. Yeah, everything at the moment. He's doing. He's literally ticked every box. I know people will point and aim at the interceptions, but bear in mind you can knock 2 of those off for tip passes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't do that. Like, people that say that's not on Dak. That was on the wide receiver for not making the catch. It was like you can talk about pinpoint accuracy. When you see some of the throws that Dak throws and the catches do not get made, you're like 9 times out of 10, if people don't actually watch something, it was just a bad throw from Dak. But no, it was like the ball was perfect. Spiral, trajectory, everything. The right receiver just did not make a good adjustment to make that catch or get himself into that position to make the catch. Like, I mean, we bashed Turpin quite a lot on several occasions on that type of matter where he's been in that position, didn't make the catch properly. Thankfully, last week he did make that spectacular catch and kind of like eased off the criticism a little bit. So we can
Tolbert.
Tolbert, yeah. Yeah, but hit me with it, Mike. And before we hit the bowl predictions, I do want to outline with our good friends at Blogging the Boys. So we've got the overall offensive stats and defensive stats for both teams. So as it stands right now, Cowboys are 28.5 points per game. The Jets are 22.5 points per game. In terms of rushing yards, the Cowboys are averaging 123 yards per game. And this is a big one. But obviously now with the injury to Braylon Allen, is going to be more damaging to that. The Jets are 144.5. So I don't expect that average to increase. I find that will definitely decrease now that Allen is on injury reserve now.
They're third in rush yards.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to improve, if I'm being honest now. In terms of passing yards, the Cowboys are 281.3 yards per game, which is massive. In terms of the Jets, it's 160.3. So big difference in terms of the passing game. So that this might help us, especially with our secondary, in a way, hopefully.
Yeah, they're a run-first offense, and as I say, they rank third at the moment in rush yards.
Yeah. In terms of the turnover difference, obviously we're -4, and the Jets are -7.
They have a turnover differential issue, giving it away a lot on offense and not getting many takeaways.
Yeah. In terms of the defensive stats, slightly depressing part. The Dallas Cowboys are 33 points per game, and the Jets are 30 points per game. So very more or less the same in that aspect. In terms of rushing yards, near enough the same. 123 point yards for the Cowboys and 130.5 yards for the Jets. So there is room to cause some damage with the run game against the Jets at some point. In terms of the passing game, this is the big killer, and we know this. It's the Cowboys have given up 297.3 yards per game compared to 199.8 for the Jets. So in total, we're 420.5 yards compared to 330.3 yards. So we're 90 yards difference worse than the Jets defensively.
Yeah.
I mean, just before we go into poll predictions, what is your overall thoughts and based on those statistics?
All I get concerned about, based on the statistics, is just how free Garrett Wilson is going to be. Although I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But he's going to get plenty of opportunity. But they've also got a rookie, Arian Smith, and I would be really, really cautious on him because he can be a bit of a sneaky guy. Little Turpin-esque is the best way to describe him.
Well, I think that's the common theme here. Like we've had, like we keep focusing on the main number one guy, but it's always the wide receiver number two. It seems to really get us. Like Romeo Dobbs, for example, like absolutely torched us last week. Like everyone was kind of focused on Matthew Golden being the rookie first round wide receiver. He was kind of slightly ineffective. He did absolutely smashed by Maris Leafu and punt return. That was beautiful play. But then Leafu had to ruin it, causing the foul later in the game. But anyway, let's move on to our bowl predictions, then give our final score predictions, and we'll finish up this episode for our pre-game preview.
Yeah. All right. I got Dallas winning this one on the road. Although it's a road game, it's MetLife, very, very familiar territory for them. So I got the Cowboys winning this one 31-17.
I'm not far off on your prediction. I've got the Cowboys winning 34-24.
Nice.
Yeah. 34-24. All right, Mike. Hit me with your bold predictions for this game.
My bold prediction for this game is Luke Schoonmaker scores a 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that is bold.
That's bold.
He's always been short yardage guy as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. 60 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is bold. All right. Okay. Mine's is if this player is featured in the field. This is an if. If Trayshawn Holden is featured and is on special teams, he will take it to the house.
I like that.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, practice squad guy.
There's a lot of ifs there, but yeah. But in terms of safe bold predictions, what would you do? Like,
okay, a safe one, yeah, because those are the wacky ones.
Yeah, those are the wacky ones. Yeah, like, but yes, folks, if you're tuning in, let us know what your wacky bold predictions for this game was. Like, the wackier, the better. And also give us your normal bold predictions. Where do you see it? I don't, for example, like Dak Prescott might be 250 yards and 3 touchdowns, something like that. Like, we love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, my other bold prediction is Diggs and Bland both get interceptions, but Diggs will get a pick 6.
Oh, okay. And not Bland. Interesting. Okay, that is bold. My bold prediction would be is we're going to see 2 running backs being on the score sheet. We're going to see Williams and we're going to see Jaden Blue on the score sheet. That's
I like it.
Yeah. That's my very confident bold prediction. Yeah.
We've got a bold prediction right, actually. we remember with Javonte Williams, I said Javonte Williams is going to score 2 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, so you did. Yeah.
And he did. So they can be wacky, but they will sometimes come through.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my biggest bold prediction of the season is Brandon Aubrey actually breaking the NFL record. But
I think we all want that one. Yeah,
we all want that, but we just have to wait in the right circumstance. But I'm not repeating my absolute wacky prediction of Jack Sanborn. I'm never repeating that ever again. Never.
We're out on that one.
We're out on that one. That ship has sailed because that's just never going to happen. All right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. That is the end of this episode. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, right after the game. We will be recording our reaction and getting it up as soon as possible. Available right after the game, while the later games will be kicking off. Not kicking off. They'll be
in full flow.
You'll be in full flow. Yeah, thank you for that, Mike. But yeah, be sure to tune in tomorrow to give our reaction. Hopefully we'll be getting a Cowboys victory, plenty to talk about. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, check us out on all of our social media platforms. But before we do go, Mike, please tell everyone where everyone can find you. You can find me on Twitter or X at Kenfig Cowboy. That's Kenfig with a K, Cowboy with a K. And you, Mr. P? You can find me at IamPstew on X and Instagram. And like I said, be sure to go check out the World's Team on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all on our other social media platforms. But that is it. We'll be back tomorrow, post-game. Like as always here at the World's Team, it's not just America's team. It is the World's Team. Enjoy football tomorrow, folks, and we'll see you guys next time.
That's a wrap on the World's Team Podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team. Touchdown! It's the World's Team, only on Believe, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?